You sure? All right, so we're going to be answering QR number 5 about life cycles. So what are a few awesome things you have seen in life cycle rituals from our own tradition? So first of all, starting at the beginning of our lives, the boys typically have brisses, where circumcision, that's when circumcision takes place. And then for girls, there are baby namings. And then there's the bar mitzvah, which is the coming of age, where boys do it at 13 and girls do it at 12 because there's something about it in the Torah, but then there's also that has an element of maturity where like boys are supposedly, they take longer to mature. And so the reason why the bar mitzvah is so special is because it's the first time that as a child, like after you're becoming an adult, because you're reading from the Torah, which is like our big text, for the first time, and it has no vowels, so you don't know what sounds it makes, so you kind of have to memorize it, and you have to learn a whole bunch of specific tunes to go along with them. And I know that, just to answer question number 2, what are any powerful moments that you recall from any life cycle ritual? For a lot of people, that's the bar bat mitzvah, or for me it's a bat mitzvah, bat for a girl and bal for a boy. And it was just really memorable because I remember receiving a lot of responsibility, and that gave me a lot of confidence, and the whole weekend is about you, and it takes a year to plan, and yet it's just a weekend, because usually you have a Friday night service, then you have the actual service where you read from the Torah and everybody's there on the Saturday, and then there's a party on Saturday night, and then on Sunday it's the going away. It's usually the out-of-town guests that are there for the Friday night and the Sunday, and so it's just really memorable and really fun, and it goes by so quickly. You get to dress up, and of course it's different for every Jew, but usually it's very memorable. Don't you?
Yeah, so the next big life cycle event would be getting married. Depending on the sect of Judaism you're in, there's different rituals, but the main one is having a chuppah over you and having people hold it. And then the breaking of the glass is a really big one, and then there's a lot of different dancing, there's the hora, and there's also different rituals for a woman and a man, and the clothes that they wear, and it's just a really fun time, but there's a lot of different laws and whatever around it. And then the next ritual, or the next life cycle after that, is sitting Shiva, which is what one does after somebody dies. And sitting Shiva is much more intimate than just a funeral. It's where the whole community comes over to the family who's experienced a loss, and the whole community comes over to their house and brings them food, and they comfort them, and they pray with them, and everybody sits on the floor. And it kind of shows how much the community can support one family, just come together for this time when the family needs people around them and support. So. Yeah.
And it comes from the Talmud, which is there's the main text, the Torah, and then there's side text called the Talmud that the rabbis, our sages, that they added on later based on the Torah, where they add their interpretation. And so according to those, the whole 7 days, we're supposed to do it for 7 days, because in the Torah, Joseph mourned, there's a precedent in the Torah about how he mourned at least 1 day, but then the Talmud specifies that for 7 days, Joseph mourned Jacob when Jacob died. So
yeah.
that's where that comes from.
Yeah.